Okay, last day of new material. Next week we have Memorial Day on Monday, and then Wednesday we'll wrap it up with like a Google Meet where I do want to see everyone's face and just kind of celebrate the end of the year. So to end this out, we're going to talk about Pythagorean theorem. This is something you may have done in 8th grade a little bit. This is something you're going to use in geometry, so you definitely need to know this, and it does take into account what we've been talking about with radicals. Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. And what it says is these two sides that make the right angle are called legs. So write that on your notes. The side across from the right angle that doesn't touch it is called the hypotenuse. And we often call one of the legs A, one of the legs B, and it doesn't matter which one, and the hypotenuse C. Pythagorean theorem was invented by, we think, Pythagoras, the mathematician, or one of his students. And it does say A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. And it's just about solving equations, simplifying things. So taking into some of the skills we learned at the beginning of the year and what we've just worked with. If we look at example 1, this is a leg, this is a leg, this is a hypotenuse. So we're going to call this one C. Doesn't matter the order you put these in. So we're going to say 4 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. The hypotenuse always stands alone. And then it's just doing a little arithmetic. Whoa, helps if I can do the arithmetic. So that would be 52. And when we're trying to get rid of something that's squared, we actually square root it. So we're going to square root both sides. And the square root of 52, hey, if you have a Casio and you do the square root of 52, it will give you the simplified answer, which is awesome. If you don't have a Casio, the highest perfect square that goes into 52 is 4. And we know the square root of 4 is 2, so our answer will be 2 root 13. Again, that Casio will do that for you, so that is awesome. Example number 2, similar situation. Here I have a leg and a leg because they are making the right angle. I don't have the hypotenuse. So I'm going to say 3 root 2 squared plus 3 squared equals C squared. Again, if you have a Casio, put that in parentheses just like I wrote it. Hit square and it will do it for you. If you don't have a Casio, that's all right. 3 root 2 squared just means 3 root 2 times 3 root 2, which is 9 root 4. We know the square root of 4 is 2, so that's going to be 18. But that Casio will do that. I think all the calculators will do that if you put that in parentheses. So this will be 18 plus 9. And that is 27. And to get rid of a square, we're going to square root. And again, if you have a Casio, hit the square root of 27. It will break it down to the answer for you. If you don't, good thing you're smart. Whoops, no more squared on that. We know the square root of 9, so our answer will be 3 root 3. Okay. In example number 3, here's the difference. This time I have the hypotenuse. This is the side across from the right angle. I don't have one of the legs. You can call it A or B, it doesn't matter. So here I'm going to say A squared plus B squared equals the hypotenuse, or C squared. And then this equation, you're going to square everything. And then we're going to subtract 9, because we know how to solve equations. To get rid of the square, we're going to square root. And we know the square is 16. It's 4. All right, moving on to number 4. Again, we know a leg and a hypotenuse, we'll call the other leg A. So we're going to say a squared plus 3 root 3 squared equals the square root of 59 squared. Again, use your calculator to your advantage. 3 root 3 squared, put it in parentheses. You have to put it in parentheses. It will become 9 times the square root of 9, which is 3. So that will be equal to 27. Use your calculator to your advantage. The square root of 59 times the square root of 59, use your calculator, and the square root of 59 squared is just 59. Now I'm going to subtract 27. I get a squared is equal to 32. I square root both sides, and I get a, and I can break this down into 16 and 2. So a is going to equal 4 root 2. Again, you can do square 32 on your calculator and you get 4 root 2. Doing great. All right. So here we're looking for a hypotenuse, so we're going to call that C. We're going to say 12 squared plus 2 root 14 squared equals C squared. This is 144. This I'm thinking is 56, but I gotta check. Yeah. When I add those together, I get 200. And again, you can just hit the square root of 200. Your Casio will break it down. If you don't have that, I know it's 100 times 2. So this will be 10 root 2 for C. Okay. And I'm not going to do 2. Let's skip to 3. Here I'm missing a leg. I'm going to say a squared plus 6 squared equals 6 root 3 squared. This is a squared plus 36. And I have to do this on my calculator. Put it in parentheses and you get 108. Subtract 36. Square root both sides. Again, your Casio will work that out for you. If not, 36 divides into 72, and your answer will be 6 root 2. All right, awesome job. Awesome job.